to Discover La Jolla, where we showcase the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I am super excited this morning to have Jeff Stein in with me. I've been looking forward to having you into the studio and talking about the drone show that's coming up on the 4th of July.
Yeah, excited to talk about it. It'll be the third year.
Okay.
We're doing the drone show at La Jolla Beach and Tennis Club for the community in La
Right.
Jolla Shores and the Cove. Yeah, and we're excited. Bill Kellogg's been a huge part of it, kind of like the godfather of
He
this
is
whole
the
thing.
godfather, and he is so excited and enthusiastic about your company and building this drone experience for future generations to come. And even looking back from the first show that was only 2 years ago, you guys had 100 drones. Is that correct?
Correct, 100 drones, yep.
And this year you're going 500 drones?
500, yeah. Yeah. Every year we've doubled.
And so the drones that you were using a few years ago, are they the same type of drones as now?
No, that's an interesting point. There's a lot of different drone show platforms, but the platform we're going to use this year is actually a next generation platform.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about that. Like, what makes it different? How is it different?
This industry is evolving, just like computers, iPhones, everything's always evolving, right? And these drones, they have a smaller footprint. They're waterproof. They fly a little faster. They fly tighter formations, so it's kind of like a higher pixel density.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and they actually have better batteries, so they can fly a little bit longer.
Huh. And I guess that is a big concern. Normally you wouldn't think about that, but how long can the thing stay in the air, right?
And with fireworks shows, typically they're 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
So if you want to compete with or replace a fireworks show, 10 minutes just isn't going to cut it. You need to go closer to 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes.
So you need a stronger battery life.
Yes, yeah.
And so how big of an area are you guys launching from? I know you guys launched from a tennis court. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we're going to use the same tennis court.
Awesome. So twice as many drones are going to fit in the same tennis court?
Correct, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. More than double.
On the 4th of July, the show's going to go on like 8:30, 8:40, 8:45 after it gets dark. Tell me what goes into prepping a drone show for 500, like the day before and the day of. Like what are we looking at?
There's the more drones you put in the sky, the more assets you have in the sky, the more liability. So you want to make sure everything goes well.
Okay.
But basically, you want to do, we're familiar with the area, but you want to check for interference, magnetic interference, radio interference, make sure it's safe. The drones will do what they're supposed to do, what they're programmed to do. I just try and stay calm the day of the show. Just try and keep my equanimity and not overthink it, because there is a lot of people watching, and it can.
And how many people do you have with you helping you the day of?
Our team's about 4 people.
Okay.
So it'll be about 4 of us. Yeah.
Okay.
2 pilots, a VO, and then a VO / operations person. A VO is a visual observer. So they spot for manned aircraft, helicopters and stuff like that. If something gets too close and there's a hazard,
got it.
They'll alert the pilot in command.
And so the day before, correct me if I'm wrong, you got to make sure all the drones are charged, the batteries are charged. I would assume the drones are numbered so you can keep track of which drone you need where, and you're using some sort of software technology?
Yep. Using a software platform. We've used a few different ones. It's funny. It's a very international business. So, some of them are from Eastern Europe, some are from Asia, there's a platform in the US. So there's a bunch of different drone show platforms, and they're all different. We use 2 different platforms. So
got it. And so when the show's going on, what are you doing?
I am
Besides
focused on the stability of the drones. I'm trying to talk to everybody, anyone that comes around. But really, I'm focused on the drones being stable, calibrated, and ready to go. So everything goes smoothly and safely.
So just out of curiosity, what are some of the misconceptions that people would have about drone shows or drones in general? Like, what are some of the myths out there that aren't true?
They have a short range. They can only be controlled up to about a kilometer away.
Okay.
So it's not very long range. In terms of That's a good
But how
question.
high are these drones going to be the day of the show at the beach club, more or less?
They're going to be under 400 feet.
And what is it about 400 feet? Is that a
It's
threshold for flying or something?
exactly. It's a safety threshold for the FAA.
Okay.
For drone small UAS rules, you're not supposed to fly unmanned aircraft above 400 feet because then you start getting into restricted airspace. Helicopters
Makes
can
sense.
fly as low as 500 feet.
Makes sense.
So you don't want
Right.
to interfere with, and smaller drones can be hard to spot for manned aircraft.
Huh.
So.
Okay. And so what other factors might come in that could affect a drone show, like weather, wind, rain, fog?
Weather and wind and fog.
Okay.
Exactly. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those three.
Yes.
And those three would cause you to say, hey, it's unsafe to fly?
Correct, but the drones can actually handle quite a bit of wind, so we've never had to cancel a show due
Because
to
of
wind. Surprisingly, in over 50 shows,
Okay.
we've performed over 50 shows in the last 2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, commercial shows, and they've all gone great. So you just have to. We've been lucky; we have not had to cancel any because of wind or rain.
So Jeff, tell me about the sort of the environmental changes that have occurred from going from a traditional fireworks show to this drone show over the ocean.
Yeah, good question. Drones have no carbon emissions, so they're environmentally friendly. They're reusable, so there's no disposable parts. The batteries last years and years. We haven't had to replace any batteries.
There's no debris falling into the ocean from the burnt out fireworks. And
yeah, no debris.
chemicals.
Exactly, like the chemicals and some of the pollutants from fireworks can, I guess, pollute water and the atmosphere and stuff like that.
And it's silent as opposed to fireworks, which can scare pets and animals and dogs. And
the seals at La Jolla Cove, that's a
interesting.
huge issue. Is I
Didn't think
guess
about the seals. Okay.
yeah, I guess they're
always got to think about the seals at La Jolla Cove.
yeah, you always got to think. But I guess mating season, the noise from the fireworks.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm not an expert on that.
So there's a lot of benefits for drone
correct.
environmentally.
Yeah, correct. And I mean, fireworks have their place too. I personally love fireworks.
Me too.
I love the sound. I actually like the smell. I love fireworks. So I don't want to say anything bad about fireworks. I think they just have a different place. With drones, you can do storytelling. You can do, sea creatures in the sky, stuff like that you can't do with fireworks.
Right.
Fireworks is more about the sound and the bright lights and the visuals and yeah.
So obviously you've seen a lot of changes in the last 2 years. Where do you see this industry and your drone shows going, let's say in the next 2 or 3 years? I mean, what's on the horizon?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is we are committed to evolving with the industry and the technology as it improves. Pyro has become a thing to fly pyro around on drones. They did New Year's Eve. They did something somewhere in the Middle East, maybe Dubai, where they put lasers on every drone. So they had hundreds of drones with lasers,
Wow.
all choreographed,
Wow.
shooting over the water. It was interesting. Our focus right now is actually the drones themselves. So improving the performance of the drone. So they fly faster. So it's like a faster refresh rate, higher definition with tighter formations,
Got it.
longer shows. So we're really focused on the drone technology itself.
of the drone itself.
Yeah. But I mean, down the line, you could create holograms. You could have drones flying around with misters or smoke machines. You can have other drones programmed to shoot lasers at different angles and create holograms through a medium.
Wow.
There's a lot of stuff you can
Mirrors. I see
do. You
mirrors
can have
coming
drones
into
with mirrors,
play.
drones with mirrors on them. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So, okay. So a lot of great things are coming down the pike that we can expect.
Yes.
What are some of the other things that your company does besides put on these magnificent drone shows?
So we started out in 2016 doing photography and videography, which was awesome because we got to film a lot of music artists just as a drone operator, like Odessa, AC/DC,
Really?
21 Pilots, Lil Wayne, Imagine Dragons. We've drone filmed a lot, as drone operator.
Of their concerts.
Yes, yeah.
Got it.
Like
Okay.
Bottle Rock, stuff
right.
at Frost Theater at Stanford, a bunch of different events. But so we kind of started out doing photography and video with drones. And then we were always looking for ways to expand, to bring more drone services to market. And we wanted to fly people around in drones autonomously, kind of like those self-driving cars in San Francisco. I'm blanking on the name. And then, anyways.
And you've done, I think, real estate photography.
Real estate,
for
yeah, lots of real estate.
commercial, residential real estate.
Both, yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
That's actually how I started.
Oh, really?
Those are first gigs.
First gigs were
Yeah.
doing houses?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, those are fairly easy to film because they don't move,
Yeah.
right?
Good point.
As
And
opposed to artists and
yeah.
concerts.
and that's
all
how a
that.
lot of people start with drones, actually,
Right.
is real estate.
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. In just 9 years, how far it's come from just a basic, photography of something in the sky to this moving art with all these visuals and different lighting and
Yeah.
it's
From
crazy.
barely being able to afford my first good quality video drone, my Inspire 2 or Inspire 1, which, oh my gosh, this thing's like, $2,000, and now I have thousands of drones.
So,
It's like,
so these drones that you're going to use at the beach club,
Yeah.
let's say that's coming up this summer, how much does one of those drones cost? Just out of
about
curiosity.
$1,500 a drone.
Really, per drone?
Yeah.
You,
So that's what I'm saying. If you make a mistake
Yeah.
and that drone swarm goes into the ocean,
Yeah.
it's a bad day.
So,
Which not going to happen.
no, that's not
never
gonna-
has happened.
That's not going to happen on the
No,
4th
no,
of July at the beach club. Well, I can tell you the whole community is so excited. I know it's coming up in about 75 days. We're actively raising funds, gathering support from our community. Bill Kellogg and the entire beach club staff is just ecstatic. It's going to be awesome. I know we're going to have a big barbecue down there. There's going to be live music out on the golf course. And people are going to be able to see it all the way up in Solana Beach, Del Mar, up the coast, the hills of, surrounding, maybe even, who knows, other locations as well. Well, I know everybody at the Beach Club and La Jolla community is really looking forward to this show. There's so much hype and excitement about it, that it being larger than double last year's size. So we're all excited. We're 75 days away and looking forward to seeing what you bring this year. Thanks,
Awesome.
Jeff.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah,
Really
we're
a pleasure
excited.
to have you on the show.
Yeah, and you guys will be seeing some new drone tech as well. So,
Awesome.
yeah.